Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. We are going through the private placement memorandum for House Hack because Meet Kevin wants to offer up to $200 million of unsecured convertible bonds paying 5% annually, distributed monthly. Passive income, right? When you buy something like this, you need to do your due diligence. And I did that very briefly. And I've noted some very interesting things in this document. So without further ado, let's dive into this offering statement, this private placement memorandum for old House Hack. So, the first thing that is extremely gimmicky, clownish, and made me roll on the floor laughing is the investment perks. Guys, you get some perks if you give Meet Kevin your money. In addition to the benefits of investing in the bonds, the company is pleased to offer a tiered incentive program. So the minimum to invest is $20,000. The bonds are denominated in 10,000s. If you invest $20,000 with Meet Kevin, you get an exclusive invite to the first ever House Hack shareholder meeting. But no, if you put in $30,000 more, you get a challenge coin. Oh, but wait. For $50,000 more, you get a vest. One of Meet Kevin's pitiful, clownish sweater vests. Yeah, you take that on a date. I'm sure that'll serve you well. And for $150K more, you get a challenge coin, a branded vest, and an all-inclusive one-day property hunt. And it goes on and on. So basically, he's trying to incentivize you to give him tens of thousands of more dollars. And he gives you up to 2 vests and a challenge coin. But if you give him $1 million, you get to hang out with him. What a freaking doofus, okay? So, what is he going to use the money for? The use of the proceeds. Proceeds will be used to reimburse organizational expenses and ongoing operating costs until and if revenues can support operations. So the first thing that is listed here is organizational expenses and ongoing operating costs, salaries, blah, 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 blah. Not buying properties. But after that, the remaining proceeds will be used to purchase, renovate, and market properties. I suspect a lot of this money is being used to pay for organizational expenses because this is a negative cash flow business. Next red flag. There is no public market for the convertible bonds. What's a public market? It's where you can buy and sell shares or bonds in a public exchange. Convertible bondholders or shareholders of the converted shares may not transfer their bonds or shares without the consent of the company. So if you give Meat Thruster your money, guess what? You're stuck. You can't sell it. You maybe think you made a mistake. You're in trouble. You got to hold those bonds and they're illiquid and there's basically no way to sell them unless Meat Smoker graciously allows you to do so, which I highly doubt he will do. So once again, I highlighted no public market. This is huge, okay? You want a public market. It provides more transparency. You don't want this investing in these privately closed freaking investments where you don't really know what's going on, okay? So let's make our way down the list here. So I highlighted some other things and see what old Meat Smoker has going on. What's up his sleeve? What's he got going on? Given House Hack's recent start, the company has limited its real estate diversification to just 2 western states as it scales, with the majority of its holdings in California. So not only is there not a lot of public transparency, not only can you not sell the bonds if you want to, but this mother effer is basically only investing in California, okay? So not only all those other issues, but you have concentration risk, not including all the 10,000 other risks that come with giving Meat Smoker your money. Very risky here, okay? But he's a real estate expert. Now, here's a funny thing here. So, me and Kevin keeps talking about, it's valued on the price to book is between 1.4 and 2.0. Price to book is just, the book value is assets minus liabilities. So, this audit that he had and this appraisal that he had, they said, it's actually worth on the market 1.4 to 2 times book value. But let's read this. At the same time, so an independent broker-dealer investment bank was hired by House Hack provided an opinion the company was worth a price-to-book multiple of 1.4 to 2.0. However, despite these items, the company's share valuation is and continues to be highly speculative as there is no public market for the shares. Due to the company's shares being illiquid, this independent valuation opinion could very well be wrong and completely arbitrary. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Completely wrong and arbitrary. Wrong and completely arbitrary. There could be errors in the valuation. That's right. So basically, you have to rely on this independent broker-dealer that gave a price to book of this. And you have to trust them. And he's using that and basically implying that you've already made a return right off the bat because of some random clowns that probably just pulled numbers out of their you-know-whats. Okay? So, the bonds may automatically convert to shares at a price of 1.4 per share after the call protection period's end. But there is no guarantee the company's stock will ever reach or exceed this price in the future. The conversion of bonds into non-voting common stock will only occur if the stock price reaches the conversion trigger price, which is the valuation that these people gave that could be totally wrong. And if this does not happen, investors may not receive equity returns of any. So basically what Meet Kevin is doing is you're lending him money. He's using an arbitrary valuation that could be totally wrong. And what he says is, if these shares ever become public, guess what? You get your stock, you get your bonds converted into common stock. So effectively, he's not paying you back. You're not going to get that principal payment back. Normally, when you buy a bond, you lend the company or government money, they pay you interest, and at the end of the term, you get the principal back. He's keeping the money, and in return, he's giving you garbage stock. Oh my God. Even if a conversion takes place, the converted shares may still be illiquid and can fluctuate significantly in value. Yeah, they're going to freaking plunge, okay? If conversion does not take place, investors will only be entitled to a return of their principal investment. If that happens, this company will collapse because he will not have the freaking cash to pay back principal. I guarantee it, unless he raises other debt. Subordination risk. If the bonds are subordinated to other debt, which I suspect he's probably going to do, investors should be aware that in the event of liquidation, they may not receive any payments until senior debt holders are paid in full. That's right. Debt holders have priority over common shareholders. However, there could be additional future issuances of debt that are senior in priority. So even if there is a bankruptcy, you may be under other bondholders. Might want to consider that, why don't you? So I just want to reiterate, the bonds will automatically convert into shares of non-voting stock at a purchase price of $140 per share. Bondholders will not have the option to opt out of this conversion. Basically, he's just keeping your freaking money and giving you stock. He has no intention to ever pay back this debt. And in return, you get partial ownership in a company that you can't even vote in, that you have no way to make decisions about. There is competition for Kevin Pathrath's time. No crap. Kevin doesn't make his money from house hack. Kevin doesn't make his money from real estate. Kevin makes his money from selling courses. That is his priority. He does coaching calls. He does courses. He does family stuff with his wife and 7 children. He has a lot of stuff going on. He's posting on Twitter. He's posting on Instagram, TikTok. Oh, but trust me, he's got a lot of freaking time to do house sack. Next, the company depends on the strong reputation and value of Meet Kevin Pathrath brand. What brand? What value does Meet Kevin provide? This guy has had so many hits against his reputation. He's still there. He's still going. But think about all the crap decisions he made, specifically with FTX. Remember that? Pumping that out? Yeah. The strong reputation and value of Meet Kevin's brand. That's what you should rely on, boyos. Now, here's a very freaky one right here. In addition to real estate, the company may invest in other asset classes, including, but not limited to, big thing right here, public equities. No, normally when you have cash and you want to be conservative, you put it in like a federal money market or you put it in like short-term treasuries and you get stability, you get interest from the government, and the U.S. government's probably going to pay you back, okay? Very, 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 very likely. But Kevin has the option, if he wants, to put your money into stocks. That should not be allowed. That is a massive risk because Meet Kevin is a gambler with stocks. This is a bigger risk than you might think. This is an enormous risk. Think carefully about what you're doing. Do you want Meet Kevin to take these bonds and put them into freaking stocks? It's open. He can do it. It's right freaking here. Now, they provided financial statements on the SEC website, I think, but they're really freaking old. And it didn't provide anything about the company other than, we got a bunch of treasuries on the balance sheet. I'd love to see a recent audited balance sheet, income statement, and statement of cash flows, okay? So here it is reiterating the subordination of your debt could be subordinated. Oh, and also, if he issues more debt, bondholders will have no right to object to such additional or new indebtedness. So Meet Kevin can turn around tomorrow, collect his $200 million, and then say, oh, by the way, this new debt is even more senior. Oh my God, it's more senior, bro. Wow. Okay, what about this? House Hack may also use proceeds to compensate key employees, officers, and potentially directors of the company. Although Meat Smoker, the company's CEO, has not received any salary to date, other than the company covering his health insurance benefits. I'm glad we're paying for your health insurance, Kevin. And has thus far covered the cost of his private plane for business use from funding outside House Hack. He's manipulating the financials of this company by not expensing the cost of the airplane to the business. He is using the plane for this business, but he's basically taken that, he's hiding away the true profitability of this business by not requiring House Hack to pay for the private plane that he's using. And he says future comp or expenses may change at any time without advance notice. I would not be surprised if at some point he starts billing out for his private plane, okay? And you're going to be paying for this plane that is absolutely going to destroy the profitability of this company. He's hiding it, okay? This plane costs a fortune, but he can make his business look more profitable by not putting it on the income statement. What a freaking joke, okay? And he's got his director, McKay Thompson, the freaking 23-year-old, is the chief operating officer. Oh, but he's got a Ross Gerber baby as a director. Wow. This is freaking outrageous, okay? So, if you're going to invest with Meat Smoker, you got to be very careful. Let's read this. So, Meet Kevin personally guaranteed that these bonds will be paid back or converted into stocks. Basically, he's not going to pay you back. He's going to give you crappy shares based off a valuation that is probably totally nonsense in exchange. Let's read this. This personal guarantee offers additional security for the bondholders in the event the company defaults and is unable to pay back their bonds. However, it is provided without disclosure of the financial standing of Kevin Pathrath. Oh, I personally guarantee this, but I'm not going to tell you what my personal finances are. And there is no obligation to provide such disclosure in the future unless the company defaults. And if the company does default, Kevin's financial backing may be privately and confidentially assessed by an independent third. So this guarantee means absolutely freaking nothing. He's not giving you any transparency. Wow. This is absolutely freaking horrible, okay? So that was some of the big red flags that I saw that popped up. Basically, you're giving Meet Kevin money. He's going to take this public. He's going to do it. He's going to convert your stock. He's going to convert your bonds to stock so he doesn't have to freaking pay you back. And you're going to be left holding stock of a highly volatile company that's probably going to freaking crater. And you're probably going to have negative total returns because you're not getting your freaking principal back. Getting your principal back is a big freaking deal, okay? So let me know your thoughts about this. What do you think? Do you think Meet Kevin is pulling a fast one on us, or you think he's going to surprise us all, make the company go public, become a billionaire, and, take a dump on my head? Let me know what you think. Check out the pinned comment if you want to buy my book, Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon. If you want to have a sponsored video, or if you want to meet with me one-on-one, have a wonderful day. Cheers!